The evening air was quiet, the kind of quiet that feels heavy rather than peaceful. Adam stood near the old bus stop, watching people pass by without really seeing them. Cars moved, footsteps echoed, and voices blended into noise, but inside his mind everything was silent. In his pocket was a small folded paper, worn at the edges. He touched it gently, as if it were fragile. It was a promise he had made years ago, a promise he had never kept. Adam was not a bad person. At least, that is what he told himself. He worked hard, paid his bills, and helped his family when he could. Yet there was one moment in his past that followed him like a shadow. Years ago, when he was younger and afraid, he chose silence instead of truth. At that time, silence felt safe. Now, it felt like a burden he could no longer carry. When Adam was in college, his best friend Daniel trusted him more than anyone else. They shared dreams, late-night conversations, and plans for the future. Daniel was confident and open, while Adam was quiet and thoughtful. One day, Daniel shared a secret, something important that could change his life. He asked Adam to promise that he would speak up if anything went wrong. Adam agreed without hesitation. At least, that is what he believed back then. A few weeks later, something did go wrong. A misunderstanding spread, and Daniel was blamed for something he did not do. Adam knew the truth. He had seen everything clearly. But when the moment came to speak, fear stopped him. He worried about his own reputation, his own future, and what others might think. So he stayed silent. Daniel paid the price, and their friendship slowly broke apart. Years passed, but the memory never faded. Adam moved to a new city, started a new job, and met new people. From the outside, his life looked stable. Inside, however, he often replayed that moment. He wondered how different things could have been if he had spoken just one sentence. Sometimes he tried to convince himself that it was too late to fix anything. Other times, guilt kept him awake at night. One rainy afternoon, Adam received an unexpected message. It was from Daniel. The message was short and polite, almost distant. Daniel was coming to the city for work and wanted to meet for coffee. Adam stared at the screen for a long time before replying. His heart raced, and his hands felt cold. He agreed to meet, even though he was not sure if he was ready. They met at a small cafe near the river. Daniel looked older, more tired, but his eyes were still familiar. For a few minutes, they talked about simple things, work, travel, and the weather. The silence between them was uncomfortable, filled with unspoken words. Adam felt the weight of the past pressing on his chest. Finally, Daniel looked at him and asked softly, "Do you ever think about those days?" Adam knew exactly what he meant. He took a deep breath. This was the moment he had avoided for years. He could stay silent again, or he could finally keep his promise. Adam spoke slowly, choosing his words with care. He admitted that he remembered everything. He confessed that he knew the truth back then and that his silence was a choice, not an accident. His voice shook as he apologized, not once, but many times. He did not try to explain his fear or defend himself. He simply told the truth. Daniel listened without interrupting. When Adam finished, the cafe felt unusually quiet. After a long pause, Daniel sighed. He said that the past had hurt him deeply, and that Adam's silence had changed his life in ways Adam might never fully understand. But he also said that hearing the truth now mattered more than Adam realized. Daniel explained that for years he blamed himself, wondering what he had done wrong. Adam's honesty, even after so much time, helped him finally let go of some of that pain. Forgiveness did not come instantly, but understanding did. That, Daniel said, was a beginning. When they left the cafe, the rain had stopped. The sky was still cloudy, but there was a soft light in the distance. Adam felt lighter than he had in years. The past could not be erased, but it could be faced. He realized that promises do not disappear when they are broken. They wait, quietly, until we are brave enough to return to them. That night, Adam walked home slowly. He thought about how silence can protect us for a moment, but harm us in the long run. Speaking the truth is rarely easy, but it gives us something silence never can: peace. He understood that strength is not about avoiding fear, but about facing it, even if it takes years. The silent promise he once made was no longer silent. It had finally been spoken, and in that honesty, Adam found a chance to forgive himself. Everyone believes that big changes come from big moments, but Liam learned that this was not always true. Sometimes, a single small decision, made quietly and almost without thought, can change an entire life. Liam lived a simple life. He worked at a small printing shop near the bus station, where days passed slowly and predictably. Every morning, he woke up at the same time, followed the same route to work, and returned home feeling tired but empty. He was not unhappy, but he was not truly happy either. Life felt like a road he was walking on without knowing why. Years ago, Liam had dreams. He wanted to travel, to learn new skills, and to do something meaningful. But responsibilities came early. His father became ill, money became tight, and dreams were pushed aside. Liam told himself that this was how life worked. Dreams were for other people, not for someone like him. One morning, everything seemed normal. The sky was gray, the air was cold, and the city moved at its usual pace. As Liam waited for the bus, he noticed an old man standing nearby. The man looked confused, holding a piece of paper and turning it over again and again. People passed without stopping. Liam almost did the same. He hesitated. He was already tired, already late, and already thinking about the long day ahead. Helping a stranger felt like an inconvenience. For a brief moment, he looked away. Then something inside him changed. He stepped closer and asked the old man if he needed help. The old man smiled with relief. He explained that he was new to the city and trying to find a community center where he was supposed to teach a free art class for children. He could not understand the directions written on the paper. Liam knew the place well. Without thinking too much, he offered to walk with him part of the way. As they walked, the old man talked about his life. He spoke about painting, teaching, and how art had given him purpose even during difficult times. Liam listened quietly. He had not talked to someone like this in years. There was a warmth in the old man's voice that felt comforting and inspiring at the same time. When they reached the community center, the old man thanked Liam sincerely and invited him inside. Liam planned to refuse. He still had work to go to. But then he remembered how empty his days felt, how his life seemed stuck. On impulse, he decided to stay for a few minutes. Inside, children sat around tables covered with paper and colors. Their faces were full of curiosity and excitement. The old man handed Liam a brush and asked him to help one of the children who was struggling. Liam hesitated again. He had not painted since school. But he sat down and tried. Something unexpected happened. As Liam helped the child mix colors and draw simple shapes, he felt a sense of calm he had not felt in years. Time seemed to slow down. For the first time in a long while, he was fully present in the moment. He left the center late that day and arrived at work even later. His boss was annoyed, but Liam did not feel the usual fear. Instead, he felt thoughtful. That evening, he could not stop thinking about the art class, the children, and the feeling of purpose it gave him. The next week, Liam returned to the community center. At first, he told himself it was just to help occasionally. But soon, it became a habit. He started assisting with classes, cleaning up, and even learning to paint again. The old man encouraged him, saying that talent grows when given attention. Months passed, and Liam noticed changes in himself. He smiled more. He felt more confident. He began waking up with something to look forward to. Eventually, he reduced his hours at the printing shop and spent more time at the center. It was not an easy decision. Money was still a concern, and fear still whispered in his mind. But this time, he did not let fear decide for him. One day, the old man told Liam that he would be leaving the city. He thanked Liam for his help and said that the center needed someone like him to continue the classes. The suggestion scared Liam deeply. Teaching others felt like a huge responsibility. He almost said no. That night, Liam thought about his life before that morning at the bus stop. He realized that everything had changed because of one small choice, deciding to help a stranger. That single decision opened a door he did not know existed. If he said no now, he would be closing that door himself. The next day, Liam accepted the role. The first class he taught alone was difficult. He made mistakes, felt nervous, and doubted himself. But when he saw the children's smiles and their pride in their artwork, he knew he had made the right choice. Years later, Liam often thought about that cold morning at the bus stop. His life was still not perfect, but it was meaningful. He had learned that we do not always need courage for big moments. Sometimes, all we need is the courage to make one small, kind decision. That one decision can change everything.